Welcome to the EOB podcast, where we discuss the weekend's box office and the new opening this week. I am Benno, and joining me is Sen Duong. So, Sen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So, American Sniper.
Yeah, I know. What were we predicting? I was saying saying 40, right?
Yeah, you were saying about 35 to 40, and I was saying 30-ish or something like that. And the movie blew both of our predictions out of the water.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it was kind of that odd mix that, I guess no one saw it coming. It's just one of those odd films where it's kind of a mainstream film, a wide release that was released in limited and had a record per screen averages. Normally you don't see that. Normally you see like a film that's intended for wide release. When they are released in limited screens, they tend to perform on a per screen basis.
Wait, let's turn this back a bit. When it was released in theaters, right? I think in 4.
Yeah, 4 theaters.
It had a per screen average of about 150K.
Yeah, for wide release, if you have 5,000-6,000 per screen average, that's solid.
Yes.
And if it's an indie film, usually anywhere from 20 to 30,000 per screen is really good. And this is like at 150,000, which is Wes Anderson level for an indie movie. Mm-hmm. And usually there aren't many films that can reach that kind of average, especially for wide release. I remember, what's that Tom Hanks movie that was, it's like he was playing Walt Disney, Saving Mr. Banks. Yeah, Saving Mr. Banks. Mm-hmm. And, that film was released limited, on limited screens first too. And it had, I think the per screen average was like 4,000 to 5,000. Mm-hmm. Which on an indie level is kind of disappointing, but most people said, well, it's really a Tom Hanks movie, a mainstream movie being released in limited screens, and it performed a level that is consistent with a mainstream release, which is 5,000 to 6,000 per screen. So the thing with the Clint Eastwood one is really interesting because it's a mainstream release and it's breaking records on a per screen basis.
I think American Sniper is now the top movie, the record setter in January.
January, by far.
I think. Yes.
By far.
Of all time.
Yeah, of all time. And, it's not even close. The previous one was, the previous high was like 41.5 million. It was Wire Long.
Oh, Right Along, yes.
So that was the previous high, 41.5 million for January. That was the best of all time. And Clint Eastwood was, 89, almost 90 million.
Yes, almost 90 million.
It's not even close. It's just like a lot of box office analysts said over the weekend. This is the kind of number that you would expect for a summer release.
Well, it's not only a summer release. What's surprising is that we're expecting, like, even in our most optimistic projection, 40, right? 40 million, which is pretty good in and of itself, right? But when you're talking about 90, you're heading into the territory of like big franchises like the the Hunger Games, the Hobbits. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter's, right?
Yeah,
and now we're talking about American Sniper.
Yeah.
Even though it's based on a book, I mean, you're talking about there's a lot of mindshare there and intent to watch.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Yeah, and not just that. It's like when you're talking about 90 million, franchise movies, you're also talking about summer numbers. Like, when these franchise movies are released during other seasons, it has a hard time reaching 90 million. I mean, even the Hobbit films, I don't think any of them made 90 million during the weekend. This is like during the slowest season of during the slowest movie season. So this is uncharted territory.
Right. See, the thing is, I don't buy slow seasons. I buy slow movies. I suspect the money is always there. It's just that the movies that people want to watch, as like American Sniper proves, like you have the movie, people will come out and watch it. Did anyone know why the movie made so much?
Well, no one knew. If anyone knew, they would be like, hey, 90 million, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They wouldn't be predicting 40 million. And the only reason why they were predicting 40 million was because it was breaking records on a per screen basis. I mean, Clint Eastwood has never had a film that's remotely close to opening at this level. His previous high was like 25 or 26 million with Gran Torino. The film that he starred in. Is the only thing I can see is Clint Eastwood directing, a action movie for once, because his previous films have all been sensitive dramas like $1 Million Baby.
No, true, but the thing is, like, if you look at the trailer, if you watch the movie, it doesn't scream 90 million. You know what I mean? It's more like a drama. It's not one of these like big action pieces, big armies, special effects. Or any of big stars. I mean, right?
Well, Bradley Cooper is kind of
Bradley Cooper. He he's a name, but the thing is like 90 million. I mean.
Yeah. No one. Again, no one.
You can't put Bradley Cooper in any movie and expect 90 million. I mean, but this is.
Except for The Hangover.
Yeah, The Hangover, but that's a comedy, and then you know
it's a franchise.
But even that doesn't open at 90 million, right?
Yeah. If you watch the movie, I mean, it is essentially a, like I said during last week's broadcast, it is a very intense, action-packed, movie from beginning to end, and it has it's very touching and very moving in the end, and there's a lot of drama in between. But like I said last week, it has a mainstream appeal too, mainly because you have, this American sniper. He's being chased down by this, this Iraqi sniper. Essentially, you have this mano a mano thing going.
This duel, right? Kind of like American guy versus the Iraqi guy.
And he's the best, of the U.S. and he's the best of, in Iraq, and they battle in the end. Or they hunt for each other.
They don't really play on that in the trailers. They're more like interested in the guy doing his job, and the pressure's getting to him, and he's breaking down.
Yeah.
But they didn't play that up in the trailer though.
Yeah, although they do play up some of the action sequences.
Yeah, they do. It's more like, oh my God, I can't handle this anymore. The pressure's getting to me.
Yeah, and that's kind of like
I want to come home, kind of thing.
And that's kind of throughout the film. That intensity, that like, not sure if I can handle this. That intensity is throughout the film. That's why last week I was like, whoa, I can see how this film can appeal to a mass audience, because for your Joe Blow, your average Joe Blow who's just looking to be entertained. It's a very entertaining movie, and not just on a dramatic basis. Everyone optimistically was thinking 40, and this did 90, so no one saw it coming. The only thing that remotely points to this are the record-breaking per screen averages, and being a sort of mainstream film performing at those numbers is kind of crazy. But, everyone's like, well, hey, Wes Anderson gets these numbers all the time, and his movies eventually only do 50 to 60. Only,
Right.
50 to 60. So, total. So they're thinking, at best, this would do 40, but everyone's like, holy cow, 90 million, jeez.
Exactly.
Clint Eastwood. How old is he now? 80?
I don't know. He's old.
Yeah, still producing at a really high level.
Right.
He's like the Tim Duncan of the movie business. And at age where most basketball players are retired, he's still getting doubles like it's something that's natural. He just gets it every day, no effort.
Yeah, but American Sniper is one of those movies. I think it's like lightning in a bottle. It's like everything comes together, right place, right time. Mm-hmm. And this is the result. They can try to reproduce it, but I'm not sure if they can.
When you have an unexpected success, no one can predict it. No one can reproduce it.
Well, they're going to try anyway. Right now,
they're going to try. Now we're going to see a lot more of these American heroes in war.
Yeah, I mean,
without the politics. Focusing on the characters.
That they're scrambling to find biographies or autobiographies of soldiers, and try to search through them to see which one to make into movies.
Yep.
And this movie cost about 60 million to make, which is cheap considering.
I think the way Clint Eastwood filmed it was really well too. It has a very natural feeling. There's no glitzy cinematography. It was just kind of rough and, like someone just took their digital camera and started recording things. And it kind of adds a realistic feel to it. Like, hey, this is not a Hollywood production. This is something that we filmed while we were in Iraq during the war. There's no Hollywood glitz over it.
Okay. In other words, he's no Tony Scott.
Yeah. He doesn't let the style, overshadow the content of the film, I guess.
Right.
He's just like, here's this incredible story. I'm just gonna show it to you, but nothing in between.
Right. So we have our January surprise in American Sniper.
And a huge surprise.
Yes, huge, unexpected. No one predicted this. Okay.
Let's move on to The Wedding Ringer.
The Wedding Ringer coming in number 2.
Yeah, 20.6 million. I'm looking at the 3-day tally. With a budget of only 23 million, so another success for Kevin Hart. It did better than we expected.
Yeah.
Last week we were saying, hey, if this movie opens well, then hey, Kevin Hart is here. He's a legitimate draw at the box office. I'm sure Scott Wooden's like, God damn it. First Angelina Jolie, and now another marginally talent,
Wait, but this movie is released by Screen Gems, which is Sony.
Yeah, Scott Wooden.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember he was saying all this crap about, Angelina Jolie, Kevin Hart, pretty much everyone who works for Sony.
Oh, but producers, right? I mean, they diss anybody when they don't do what they're told, yeah. and then they butter you up when they want you to do something.
I like what I like what Chris Rock said about Scott Wooden. He's like, no, I don't think he's a racist. He hates everybody.
Right. I'm sure that is in his email somewhere.
Yeah. He's like, God damn it. And first Unbroken became a hit, and now The Wedding Ringer. What the hell?
Wait, did he have something against The Wedding Ringer?
He said something about Kevin Hart too, like he's just some social media guy with no talent. Without social media, he wouldn't even be making movies. So something to the effect of the only reason why people watch his films is because he has a huge following on social media. Without that, he's nothing pretty much.
Oh,
something like that.
I'm sure he used the line often that I made you and I can break you to somebody somewhere.
Pretty much, maybe everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 20 million, which is in the higher range of our estimate. Doing like 15.
We were thinking about 15. Yeah. So it.
Yeah, with 15 to 20, and I think what you or I said that 10 to 15, one of those things between the range. So in the higher estimate, the higher range.
Yeah. All right, should we move on to Paddington?
Yeah, number 3, Paddington.
Paddington did better than we expected too. We were thinking 15, and it made almost 19 million.
Well, the thing is, we were estimating low because we thought that it's like a crowded weekend with 3 new releases and American Sniper going wide. All these movies couldn't make this much money, especially with American Sniper taking the bulk, but we didn't know how much that's taking. The
surprising thing is, American Sniper took 90 million, and these other movies they still did better than we expected.
Right, I'm saying the money is always there, but for some reason the studios believe that no one's going out to the movies during the winter months.
Yeah.
And they release junk.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so Paddington, despite all its trouble, like Colin Firth was originally selected as the voice of the bear. He backed out, but still, almost 20 million. Good. Family audience.
Good. And one of the better reviewed family films, out there. It's like 96%, 98%. Awesome. Probably one of the best reviewed films out there.
Right. So we'll be seeing more Paddington. And remember, you said that how you questioned if people are familiar with Paddington in the U.S. Well, now you know.
Yep.
So we'll be seeing more of the bear.
Yeah, probably.
But we don't know how much it costs, right?
Yeah, we don't know how much. I think I read somewhere that it costs about 60 million 50 or 60 million. So
But,
with a 20 million, 19 million opening, good reviews, not many family films out there. It should stay in theaters for a while.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be a hit on VOD and home video too.
But still, we'll have to see how.
Right.
Whether or not, because 19 million is still iffy if it can get to 60 million.
Since Paddington is released in January in a crowded weekend, suggests that maybe they don't have that much confidence in it.
Yeah, yep.
But I think this opening really proved them wrong, I think, and it surprises them. So I think they're happy.
Yeah, I think they're happy. But still, with a $60 million budget,
right.
with great reviews, and you expect good word of mouth, but we still have to see whether or not it can break 60 million.
Right.
If it can break 60 million, then we might see more. But if it only gets to about 60 million, we might not see more Paddington. But if it gets to maybe 80 or 90, we might see more.
Right, but I think we'll see more Paddington.
You think we'll see more? So you think you'll get to 80 or 90?
I'm not sure, but this opening I think proved that this could be a successful franchise for Weinstein Dimension Films.
I don't know, because the budget's pretty high though. I mean, usually when you see films that opened in, like Woman in Black. Mm-hmm. The Woman in Black, that had about the same opening. It made 54 million, but its budget was only 23 million. Right. So imagine if Woman in Black, had a $60 million budget. I don't think they would crank another one out. Because 19 million, I mean, it's like Box Trolls and a couple other ones that made around this. They didn't make about 19, they made about like 17 or 18. Mm-hmm. And then they ended up making about 50 million.
Right.
It's about the same as their budget, and I don't think they're gonna crank out Box Trolls 2, for instance.
Probably not. But I expect this movie to play well around the world.
Yeah, we'll see. In the UK, it'll probably do really well. 19 million. We'll have to see how well it holds up next week. Expectations is one thing. The cost of the film is another.
Right.
Even though it exceeded our expectations, which were low to begin with, it still has a $60 million budget that it needs to cover.
Like I said, I think it will make up for that overseas.
We'll see. It's kind of like, what's that Steven Spielberg?
You mean that cartoon?
Yeah, Steven Spielberg and
the Adventure of Tintin.
Yeah, The Adventures of Tintin. I mean, they say they're gonna make it, but now it doesn't seem like they will.
Because that movie cost a fortune to make.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Even though it made 300 million worldwide, I think it cost like 120 million or something like that. Uh-huh. And worldwide is a solid number, but in the U.S. it only ended up making 80. And even though reviews were decent, they weren't like, hey, we gotta crank one out immediately.
Right.
And it's one of those things like, maybe not. And now it seems like a maybe not, because before Peter Jackson was planning on making The Adventures of Tintin after The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. But now he scratched that plan. He's like, well, I want to do a bunch of indie films first before I move into another big budget movie. That's what I'm saying with Paddington. It might be one of those cases where it depends on how well it does in the UK, since it's a name brand in the UK. But in the US, it would have to make more than the $60 million budget.
Okay, I guess we will keep an eye out for it and see how well it does.
Okay. All right, Taken 3.
Taken 3, number 4.
Yeah.
14.6 million over the weekend.
Yeah, huge drop-off. 63%.
But then again, it is one of these action movies. Huge opening, then it starts dropping off huge.
But still, 63 is, even for action films, usually 50%, 55%. Right. So 63% is pretty bad.
Sure, but I would also say that I think the audience that would go to Taken 3 probably went to American Sniper.
Yeah, they did. Mm. They did. Regardless, though, it's still a huge drop-off. Total, it made 63.4 million so far, and it's about 20 million. It's already 20 million behind Taken 2. This one might not reach 100 million. And if it doesn't reach 100 million, I don't think we'll see Taken 4 for him.
Then what will happen to Liam Neeson?
Well, he's got one all night.
and then it's gonna do run all day.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we don't have to worry about him, right?
Yeah, he's well taken care of because
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we'll see. Tekken 3 is on the 100 million watch to see if it can reach that milestone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see. Maybe it's just one of those things that will linger and it will reach 100 million. Just because American Sniper's in theaters and taking like the bulk of the box office, that we're seeing this huge drop off.
Yeah, yeah. And people who want to see an action movie will probably rather see American Sniper now.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to Selma.
Selma, number 5.
Almost 9 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised, even though the drop off from the previous week is very low.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it didn't do better, with the Martin Luther King holiday.
The thing is, it did got a bump.
Yeah.
I mean, normally we expect a drop off of what, like 40%?
40%.
40%, but it only dropped like 22%.
Yeah.
But again, like I said in the previous, broadcast, the movie's just there. Even though it's well regarded movie.
Yeah, it's well regarded. It's released at a time that is perfect for it, but for some reason it's still not getting that huge audience that it should get. I read through one analysis that said it's because that it portrayed one of the presidents in a bad light or something, but I doubt it.
Nah, no. Yeah. People like good villains. If the president's in a bad light, good. But no. I think it's just that. I think it's due to recent events. I mean, all these unrest that's going on right now.
You think that has an effect on it, though?
It's just that people are living in the moment right now.
Well, you would think that because of the recent events, you would think this is even more present. Like there's still this black versus white thing,
No, I know.
In America, you would think that would actually bring more interest to the film because it's still present right now. All the issues in Selma is still present right now.
I know that's true, but maybe because of that, maybe because there's an overload.
Oh, you think people are probably fatigued and exhausted by this?
Right. I mean, like
issue.
every time you turn on the TV or read the news or whatever, you're saying, oh, another black guy got shot by the police, or oh, there's this event, and all these people are like living in the moment right now, right? They don't need to go to the movie to see what's going on back then.
Yeah, they already see it. They already see it real life. They're experiencing it real life.
They're living it.
They already have that pain real life. Why go and re-experience that pain again, right?
Right.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, you could be right. People are like, I'm living this. Why do I need to see it? Which is kind of like back in the day when Zhang Zimu was becoming
a Chinese director.
Yeah, Chinese director known for like Raise the Red Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Although worldwide he was getting huge recognition for those films, in China no people weren't watching his films. They're like, I'm living this life. I don't see why this is any interest to. A lot of them didn't get why Zhang Zimu was big, and because they felt like his films weren't that interesting. They're like, well, this is the kind of life that I'm living. It's nothing new to me. I don't see.
Right, like this is news.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it might be a similar effect with Selma, where people are just like, I'm living this right now. Why do I have to go to the theaters to see it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be it.
Should we move to Imitation Game?
Number 6.
This is pretty amazing. It made another 7 million. It's at 50 million right now. And they barely added any screens.
Well, the thing is, like, it only expanded in its third week. Was it the second or third week where it went wide? Before
before it had a slow. It has a slow expansion. It was like 700 theaters, and then it went to, and then the next big one was last week where it went to 1,500 or 1,600. And then even last week it made another 7 million. So I was thinking it almost doubled the amount of theaters last week. Mm-hmm. It didn't have any drop off, so I'm expecting that this week it might have some drop off. But no, it still made another 7 million. And it's now at 50 million already. And I read that they're planning on expanding it to 2,000 theaters this weekend.
Right. Then we say in the last broadcast that it makes sense to expand the movie, or is it another one?
Yeah, last week we did. One thing that I said was, remember we were saying how, hey, this one is following the same trend as the King's Speech, and the King's Speech eventually went on to make 100 million, and we're like, can this end up making 100 million? And week after week, it makes 7 to 8 million. And last week I was saying, if it makes another 7 million this week, without adding any theaters, it'll probably eventually make 100 million. Looks like now it probably will.
Well, I still say no, but
because you were saying 60 to 70.
Yeah.
Now it definitely looks like it'll crack 60 to 70 because it's already at 50. And they're thinking about expanding it to 2,000 theaters next week and eventually expand it to 3,000. The word of mouth is very good, it seems. The same number of tickets are being sold every single week, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies where it's making around below 10 million, but still in a high range. And it continues to make that amount. Yeah,
every single week.
Yeah.
So this one's at the $100 million watch too.
Okay, all right. We'll keep an eye out, which is a surprising thing to me.
Yeah, surprising to me too.
I still say it won't make it, but we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, let's move on to number 7, Into the Woods.
Yeah, another 6.8 million, 114 million total. Still holding up really well, a drop off of only about 29%.
Yeah, the most surprising thing really is the $50 million budget. The movie looked like it cost more than that.
True, yeah, with all those stars and...
Yeah, with the sets.
Yeah, and the sets, yep. And it's still playing. You know, and like Unbroken, which was kind of like neck and neck with it, but Unbroken is already slowing down. It's like this week it made 4 million, almost 50% drop off. Looks like Into the Woods is having some staying power. And then in between those two films is The Hobbit.
The Hobbit, yes, coming in number 8. The Battle of the Five Armies. Made about, a little less than 5 million over the weekend.
Total, 244?
Yeah, 244 million domestic in its 5th week.
So it looks like it'll top off at probably 260, which is about the same as the second one. At first, I was thinking it would do better than that, but I guess eventually it just kind of settled in to about the same amount.
Yeah, the Hobbit movies are really one big battle.
Yeah. Although worldwide, I think over the weekend worldwide it cost 800 million. And it's opening it's gonna open in China this week or pretty soon. Has a chance to reach $1 billion, but that would mean it would have to do really well in China, which I think it will.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's a huge market there. Let's move on to number 9, Unbroken.
Yeah.
Made another 4 million over the weekend, for a total of 108 million total domestic.
At a budget of only 65 million. Pretty good.
Yes.
Should we move on to Blackhat?
Okay, number 10. Coming in number 10 is Blackhat.
Last week we were like...
million. And it's really the John Carter of 2015.
At a budget of 70 million.
Yes. Yeah. And last week we say if one movie was to bomb, it would be
Blackhat. And it bombed really badly.
Exactly. The explosion is larger than we expected.
Yeah. We were thinking 8 to 10 million?
Well, yeah, around 10 million. And
it didn't even get to 4 million.
It's the anti-American Sniper, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So why do you think? Why do you think?
I don't know. It's kind of like what we said, that the trailer looks really generic, and I guess part of it is also maybe Chris Hemsworth as a hacker just doesn't. Have you ever seen any hacker with bulging biceps and and looks as good as Chris Hemsworth?
Whenever I looked at myself in the mirror.
Oh, okay, all right. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's just too much of a stretch for people.
I don't know. I think it's really because number one is Chris Hemsworth, right? But he's not the main reason. I think it's just because of the genericness of the movie, really. You're
right there. Right? I mean, you watch the trailer and you're just like, I don't care.
Right, and then you have Leon Wang and Tong Wei. I mean, for people in the U.S.,
I wonder how it's gonna do in China.
I think it'll do well, better than here. But
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'll
right,
definitely
right.
do
But
better
then,
than here.
yeah, but then again, those two people are not really draws here. I mean, yeah, you put them
Yeah,
on in. I mean, I think this one is really made with outside investment, and
yeah.
they put the Leon Wang and Tang Wei in just to draw in the
Just for the
Chinese,
China market. Yeah.
just to the China market. And I think like for this movie, Chris Hemsworth alone is not enough.
In his other films that he headlined, they
Hmm.
all open to around 15 million, which is not bad, if
Right.
you can consistently open your movies to 15 million. I mean, the non-Thor movies, that's a decent draw. But
Right.
Blackhat, wow, people just didn't care.
Right.
They were just like,
Although I suspect that if you put an American actress, an American lead, female
mhm,
lead, in the
mhm.
movie, it would do way better.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of doubt it. The trailer is just so generic. If Chris Hemsworth can't draw an audience, even if you put in
Mhm.
a actress which is next to him, I don't, unless it's a big name actress, I don't see
Right,
how.
right, right, right. Big,
You
well,
know.
kind of a known actress,
Yeah,
and there's
but if
some romantic tension. I think it would play better. I mean, it would probably reach number five.
yeah,
At least I think.
I don't know, but yeah, maybe you'll add another million or two,
That
but
bad,
the, yeah.
huh?
Well, I mean, the trailer, the generic is just so generic. Unless you do in someone in the caliber of
Right,
Angelina Jolie, I
right.
don't think it's gonna move the needle much. You
The
know,
thing is, like, that this movie looked like without Chris Hemsworth, right? If you put in some unknown actor in there, it
mm,
looks like one of these, straight to
direct to
video type.
video.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's performing like a direct to video movie.
right. But
Uh,
70 million to make,
You'll have to make that up in China.
probably will.
Yeah, and it might. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Michael Mann. This is like his first dud in a long time.
Well, a long time is 2009. I mean, I don't think this is the movie that I expect for his comeback.
Well, he usually doesn't crank out that many. Well, yeah, actually, he's been making movies every 2 to 3 years. But yeah, there's been a 6 year gap.
Yep. So he will get another movie, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. It's just yeah.
But I don't think he can survive too many black hats.
Well, I think he has enough. He has enough respect that he can definitely get more movies made. He's
Uh,
one of the most respected directors out there.
yeah, but like
You
a
know.
couple black hats in a row, no one's going to return his call. I respect you, but I have this other guy in mind.
It's a little bit easier for directors because they're not the face of the movie.
But then again,
You know,
it's all about money, right? If you're not making money, then no one will want you, really.
here's the thing with directors, because they're not the face of the movie. Not like stars. If you're a star and you have three
Right.
consecutive bombs, then you're in trouble. But if you're a director, you can always realign yourself with a star, and the studios will probably greenlight it.
Well, yeah,
But if you're a star, if you're you're a star and you have three bombs in a row, even if you align yourself with a big name director, they probably won't greenlight it. They might just convince the directors to work with another star.
yeah, sure, directors have an easier time, but still.
I read that somewhere too. It's easier for directors to move beyond bombs than stars because they're the face of the movie.
Okay, so
Um,
after Blackhat, where can we go?
yeah,
We reached the bottom.
yeah. It's like we went at an extreme high of American Sniper, and then we ended with an extreme low of Blackhat. It's kind of like the perfect top 10.
Exactly, looked like the rope,
Right?
the elevator rope broke, and then we just dropped down
All the way to the
Blackhat,
bottom, and
to the bottom, and
there's
there's
nowhere
no
else to
bottom.
go.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
more bottom.
right. I guess you can. Night at the Museum is at 104 million. Annie at 82 million.
Mhm.
Mockingjay is very close to beating Guardians of the Galaxy for number one movie of the year. Woman in Black 2 is at 25 million. Oh, Birdman is at 28 million. Let's see. The Theory of Everything is at 27 million. Remember how we were saying which film, The Theory of Everything, Birdman, and which other one?
Foxcatcher, yeah. Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher, yeah. Which one of these will break 40? Doesn't look like it was Foxcatcher. Foxcatcher will probably never get to it, but it looks like Birdman and The Theory of Everything with both of those films garnering all these award nominations. Now it looks like Birdman might be the front runner. You know.
Yeah, because I think it won Best Picture or something.
Oh, Golden Globe, or
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, one of those things.
Okay.
Anyway, it has more awards than
The Theory of Everything.
than the Theory of Everything. Yes. Yeah,
we
we'll
could
see.
still both be right. We could still both be right. Both of them could still reach 40 million by the time the Oscars comes along, or shortly after the Oscars. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Boyhood. I wonder if they're going to expand it. Oh, they already expanded Boyhood to 100-something theaters.
Yes, it's also available to watch online.
Oh, it's already? Oh.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, I guess maybe I'll watch it online.
Yep.
If I can't find it in a theater nearby. Oh, PK, remember PK?
Yep.
It popped back up on the charts.
I think it was there last week as well.
Oh, okay. It's now at 10.5 million, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber 2, almost 86 million.
Top 5 took a huge tumble. It made 25 million, which is still okay, you know.
Yes, yeah. It wasn't a big budget movie.
Mm-hmm.
Should we move on to next week?
Okay, what's coming out next week?
Mortdecai, The Boy Next Door, Strange Magic. Are those all wide releases?
They are all wide releases. Yeah, let's go with The Boy Next Door.
The Boy Next Door.
The Boy Next Door, starring J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, Ryan Guzman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, John Corbett.
Oh, we haven't seen him in a while.
Right,
I haven't seen him in a while in a movie.
Okay, so Boy Next Door, thriller about starring Jennifer Lopez as a teacher, high school teacher, who is a divorcee, has a son, and Ryan Guzman is the boy next door.
Oh, okay. I feel nothing for it.
All right, and they struck up a relationship, a tale of obsession.
I don't think Jennifer Lopez is much of a draw at the box office anymore. I mean, her last films, was it Parker?
With Jason
Statham. Yeah, in a Jason Statham movie, didn't do too well. It ended up making only 17.6 million total.
Oh, true. But one thing I have to say about Parker is that it came at the tail end of the Jason Statham craze. That movie didn't differentiate itself from the other Jason
Statham movies, right?
And it even looked worse than the other Jason Statham movies.
So I don't know. I'm not sure if Jennifer Lopez is still much of a draw.
You might be right. I mean, because the thing is, like, you don't hear much of her, in the music, right? Something that she's known for, right? And she hasn't been in a movie for quite a while.
Yeah.
And she was never really a draw at the box office anyway.
Well, she was for a while. She was a decent draw. Like with romantic comedies, her films could do 70 to 80 million total. Mm-hmm. And she's decent with thrillers, kind of like the Tough Woman world.
Right.
So those she's good with those two kinds of roles. But now it seems like her time has come and gone.
I know. The thing is, like this movie, look, if you watch this trailer, it's one of those genre movies, like one of those movies where who's that actress where they come out with those thrillers, like Along Came a Spider.
You mean Halle Berry?
No.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd, yeah, she has taken the role of Ashley Judd.
Yeah.
These generic thrillers.
Yeah.
And Halle Berry as well,
And it could be one of those. It is one, like I said, it's one of those genres that she is strong in. But I'm not sure if there are still enough fans of hers that still remembers that she's great in these films and still want to rush out to watch them. So what are you thinking?
You know what? Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer Lopez. All right, when she was still big, right? She was there because, let's be serious, she was hot. Now I'm not so sure. I'm gonna put this movie in the 10 million range, and I think that might be optimistic.
Oh, I think that is optimistic. I think it's the 4 or 5 million range at best. All right, so you're 10 million. I'm 4 or 5 million.
I like to be optimistic in these things, but you
Well,
might end up being right because I don't see a reason to watch this movie besides Jennifer Lopez. If Jennifer Lopez is not a draw,
well, you were saying that before a lot of people go watch her because she's hot, and in
yeah,
the poster she's scantily clad.
yep. I still think she's hot, by the way. But
Yeah, yeah.
don't
Me too.
underestimate Ryan Guzman. He's hot too. That's why he's in the movie.
All right, okay.
You know? His
All
abs.
right.
Have you seen his abs?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you need to see his abs. So
Should I?
why not? Yeah.
Do I need to see his abs?
You probably don't need to see his abs, but I'm telling you the reason
I
why
should?
he's in the movie.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, it's because of his abs.
All right, okay, all right.
To give a reason for the female audience to turn out.
I thought those movies were.
Well, he was in two. He was in the two step-up movies.
Oh, he was in the two afterwards.
Yeah. He didn't start at the step-up movies, but he was in two step-up movies, like
Oh, he
the
was in
Step-Up
two.
Revolution and the latest one, Step-Up All In.
Oh, okay, all right. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, Channing Tatum was the guy in the first Step Up movies, and then the other ones didn't do nearly as well though. It was a quick decline.
No, but what you're talking about sequels where they
That's true though.
they're
I mean,
really
but-
straight to video titles, but someone didn't get the memo and they released it in theaters anyway.
yeah. So I guess if you look at it that way, they did pretty well. We'll see. I'm thinking 5 million. You're thinking 10 million.
I'm thinking 10 because I like to be optimistic and I like to believe that Jennifer Lopez is still hot and so
Alright.
is Ryan Guzman.
Okay. All right.
And there are still fans of Jean Corbett.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's move to Strange Magic.
Strange Magic. Oh my god.
I don't even know. I don't.
It's a Disney movie. Buena Vista Distributing.
Oh, what is this?
It looks like a DreamWorks animation movie actually.
Yeah. Wow. This is kind of strange.
No, it doesn't really. It's not really a kids movie in a way. It's one
okay.
of those movies for tweeners.
Oh, Lucasfilm Singapore. It's by Lucasfilm and ILM. I don't have high hopes. What do you think? Yeah. So I'm thinking 2 million tops.
Wow.
What about you?
2 million.
Yeah. Or 3.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going with 5.
You're going with 5? All right.
I'm going
Yeah.
with 5 because the marketing power of Disney.
No, I'm surprised this is a Disney movie. Wow.
Well, they're distributing.
No, they're distributing. Okay, all right.
Distributing.
You're right. It does look like a DreamWorks movie.
I know.
Yeah, like DreamWorks back in the Shrek days.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's a cross between Shrek and Antz.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, from the creative mind of George Lucas.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's all it took, huh?
Yes.
But yeah, I'm sticking with my 2 to 3 million.
Right. Totally generic and unmemorable characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks like a strange plotting story about kidnap and rescue.
Mm-hmm,
And all these strange situations like river dances.
It looks like just a bunch of stuff happening on screen,
Right.
but nothing really to kind of tie it together. And
Right. And the main bad guy looked like that grasshopper locust from Antz.
yeah, kind of, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And all those other characters look like rejects from the Shrek movies.
Yep. It looks like it looks more like a Shrek spin-off than anything, except not as good.
Right. And the movie is really more a showcase for the animators. Like, oh, look at all the cool stuff we can do, or oh, look at all the things that we have up our sleeves.
I guess since ILM worked on it, it does. I mean, the technical aspects are pretty good, but as far as the film, it doesn't. Doesn't look. It looks kind of generic. Doesn't look very interesting. Doesn't seem like there's any story to push it, to make it interesting, to make the viewer interested.
Exactly, and even the artwork, it seems like everything is bright color.
Yeah, slightly dark though. I mean,
It's
kind of
slightly,
dark.
slightly dark, but everything is colorful, just like George Lucas. Why have
Yeah.
this when you can have more?
Yeah.
It's like everything need to pop.
Yeah, right.
You said 2 million.
Yeah, 2 to 3 million.
Okay, which is kind of low for a LucasArts ILM movie, but
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
there's a reason why we haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah. Let's move on to Mortdecai.
Okay, Mortdecai. This movie is really a showcase for, a movie for actors to showcase their British accent. Okay, it's directed by David Coeb, starring Johnny Depp, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ewan McGregor, Paul Bentley, Olivia Munn, Oliver Platt.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, Goldblum.
Hmm.
You would think that this movie is funny, but if you watch it, it's really not that funny.
I don't have high hopes for this movie either. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna put it at 15 just because Johnny Depp and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Good. Well, Gwyneth Paltrow hasn't been a draw at the box office in a while.
But she has Johnny Depp backing her up.
Yeah. And Johnny Depp's been kind of on a downward spiral. You're thinking 15?
I'm thinking 15 by virtue that it's a new movie in theaters and it's Johnny Depp.
Right.
Right. If I'm more optimistic, I would put it at 20. But
all right, 15. I'm putting it at 10.
Wow.
I'm going low.
You're going low.
Yeah.
I know.
This week I'm going pretty low.
You're not that high on this week's movies.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll see. We'll see next week.
We will come back next week and see how well we do. I mean, you might be right. I mean, The Boy Next Door. We'll see if Jennifer Lopez still has the draw.
Yeah.
Okay, and the
power of magic.
Yes, Strange Magic. Which is a movie that's came out of nowhere.
It feels like a contract obligation. I feel like if they had a choice, they would just do direct to video. I guess you can say the same about The Boy Next Door too.
Oh yeah, I think people are just hoping that with Jennifer Lopez, they could make some money.
Well, I guess we'll see if Johnny Depp still has a draw outside of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yes. Okay, and then we'll come back next week and do this again.
All right.
That's what we do. Okay, signing off.
Signing off.